policy in the military.
Can I answer this one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, personally, I kind of like the old way. Don't, or what was it? Don't.
No, the old is don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
And the new
They call
is
the new
don't
policy.
harass, don't pursue.
I kind of like the original one.
Don't ask, don't
See,
tell.
personally, I think why can't gays defend their country?
Yeah.
I think they should definitely be allowed into the military because this is their, even though, as I'm not quite sure, I might get attacked with this one, the majority of the country disagrees with it, it's still their country. They should be allowed to defend it. So I don't think they should ever be denied to go in there. Now we get into the personal things when they're in crew quarters and get guys just talking about this is my girl at home and all that, and the guy goes, this is my guy at home. Now we got a little bit of a problem because the other guys would get uncomfortable, obviously. I'm not sure what we can do about that. Because they're going to feel uncomfortable no matter what you do. And just like
I would like to say something.
Either way, it's imposing. Go ahead.
That's assuming that the men that are already there are going to feel threatened or something by the presence of a gay man. That and then even then, that's assuming that he's going to try to hurt them or rape them or something like that. Like, is every gay male a rapist?
very true.
Well, it goes back into the whole idea of homophobia. It's the fact that
That's like true homophobia by the real word.
Yeah.
To keep gays closeted. To, once
No,
again,
it's like
go
fear
back to
of.
what I was saying before, it's all about keeping the agents, people in the norm, comfortable. If gays hide their gayness, keep it toned down to make the agent feel comfortable. That's what the whole don't ask, don't tell policy is about.
right.
Well, I mean, the don't ask, don't tell. I just don't think that, I mean, nobody goes into the army saying, hey, I'm married, I got a husband. I mean, who cares? I mean, I think that if you're going into the army or to any job, what does it matter who your person that you deal with on the side? I mean, it's just, who goes around announcing that or wearing it on a t-shirt or on your forehead? I don't see that it being a big deal.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally agree with your statement, but the whole thing is they practically live with each other.
Yeah.
And it's more than just doing work, because they live together too. There's this whole personal attribute to it, where these people in the service are living together,
Well,
so.
for a short period of time though, and then on top of it though, they're not sharing beds. I mean, you have your bunk, they have their bunk, and that's only for like a 6-week period of time.
But we can go on that and say, look at submarines. They can go out for about 3 months without ever coming up for air, and they do share bunks. They don't at the same time, but one gets off of the bunk and the other one goes in while they switch shifts. And on the submarines, women are allowed on there because it is a tin can underwater for 3 months with nothing but testosterone.
Right.
Which is the same thing. Now we look at gays on the submarine with a tin can with a bunch of guys on there. Now I can see why some guys would get uncomfortable, but I think gay guys can hold themselves just as well as normal men could
Well,
in a
just
mass
because they're
majority.
gays, they're like, wow.
Just pointing out how
But we're also going into the topic of sexism. It's the fact that you did mention women are not allowed on the submarine.
Yeah.
It's totally sexist, and women can hold their own. You
Well,
just don't
no,
think
that's
they
the
can.
problem. They don't think the women can't hold their own on a submarine. I know, well, I don't personally know, but I know there's a lot of women out there that are probably better with nuclear machinery than a lot of men that possibly ever could. It's the fact that they would have to be living in a tin can for 3 months with a bunch of guys. It's not the fact that they're not, okay, this is another sexism. It's not sexist, sorry, sexist statement that they're not just saying that the women are not good enough to work on the ship. They're afraid that the men are going to take advantage of the women on the ship.
So gay men and straight women have to worry about men in general.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Unfortunately, going back to our norms up there.
Go ahead. I just think when people go into the army or whatever, like, that's what they go for. You shouldn't have to be concerned of what, your sexuality is. It has nothing to do with that. It's like, leave them alone. who cares if you're gay, lesbian, whatever? You're going to the army, that's what you're there for. The end.
You're defending your
The
country.
end. That's what I think. The
May I
end.
say something real quick?
You can go. No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think he's saying the same thing, but what he's saying is that I think he's just giving information. Like John was giving us a background of how homosexuals have been mistreated, and he's just saying that how it feels as a straight person. You know, taking a shower with a bunch of guys is hard enough for some guys. For me, that's very hard. I can't do it actually. I don't do it, but that's a sidetrack. But you know, then you have something that's so personal, and you know this person's gay. You wonder if they're thinking about it, right or wrong. He's just giving that as an information. He's still, like I said, and I back them being in the army too. It's just information.
Yeah, personally, I think you live in this country, you should have the right to defend it. Absolutely.
It's just understanding the differences between us. I think that's important.